Hey, this is Sam Black with my 5th match with Dredge in Modern. I'm on the play, and this one's interesting. Really comes down to whether Lightning Axe is going to be a functional card. I'm going to bet on yes and keep. Bloodstainmire pass. There's a worst case scenario world where I Lightning Axe my own Bloodghast after hardcasting it. It's a pretty bad worst case scenario. Then there's a best case scenario where this happens. I think I just get Mountain here. Dredge this, and now I have the problem that I don't really have anything else going on, but at least I get a Bloodghast. Maybe this is a bad keep just because I didn't have any way to like go fast once I hit the one Dredge. I had to basically just like spike a loam. I guess I get to Dredge Dackmore Salvage. This is not going to be great. I get to Dredge Dackmore Salvage and hope to find a Faithless Looting off of it. Yeah, this draw worked and it still wasn't very good. Probably wasn't supposed to keep. It's tempting to go for black here to be able to cast Bloodghast, but realistically I need to get green to be able to cast Life from Loam. Alright, hit Faithless Looting, so that's lucky. Still very, very slow, but at least I have a plan. Not company, that's good. Let's discard. I can discard Bloodghast and Prized Amalgam and get them back and still have nothing going on. Or I can discard a Grave Troll in one of those and try to make things work later. I think I have to discard a Grave Troll here. And then I think I just discard the Prized Amalgam and hope to dredge into a Narcomoeba or Bloodghast, I guess. I can always cast Bloodghast from my hand at this rate, although really I'm looking to be casting Golgari Grave Trolls. Honestly, I think this game might be going really well. I'm clearly playing against Bant Eldrazi, and I might just start playing Grave Trolls that are bigger than my opponent's Eldrazi and win that way. Dredge this. Hit nothing useful. Play this. Sacrifice it. Get my last land. Attack with this guy. a Grave Troll and hope my opponent doesn't have another Reality Smasher or a Drowner of Hope or a Path. Kind of a tall order. Looks like something. Yep, Drowner, tap my Golgari Grave Troll, kill me. Okay, so Dark Blast. I want all the creature removal. Dark Blast and Lightning Axe. Those come in for sure. I'm gonna tab over to my collection and check what kind of graveyard hate my modern Banned Eldrazi deck had to see if I should be expecting a lot of Rest in Peace or something. Grafdigger's Cage. Large numbers of Grafdigger's Cage. I will assume that my opponent's probably in a similar situation. So I should consider Engineered Explosives to get the mana creatures and the Grafdigger's Cages. I could also consider Thoughtseize since I'm on the play. This is a ton of cards I want to bring in, so we're going to have to cut at least 2 of these. Let's cut this. Let's cut this. Let's trim enablers. And now I can bring in more stuff if I want. Like these, I think are a higher priority than Thoughtseize, but it's close. We can probably trim one of these. And let's just do more of this for now. So this is another Lightning Axe plus Dredge hand, but this one is very good if I find a second land, but it doesn't have a second land. I'm on a play. If I'm dredging, I'm not finding a second land, so I think I'm mulligan this. And I think I have to keep this one. Alright, I need to decide if I'm gonna... No, I don't want to draw this, because it doesn't cast Life from Loam. I am going to have to decide if I want to try to draw a land or just start dredging right away. I think the answer is going to be dredge right away. Yeah, especially since I could potentially find Dark Blast. Ooh, there can be a prized amalgam. And another Grave Troll. So I have to decide if I want to dredge this, or if I want to draw to try to find a land for Bloodghast. I think I dredge. Maybe. I've already hit on Archmeba and a prized amalgam. If I draw Faithless Looting, or a land, or a Dark Blast, or a Lightning Axe, I'm happy. If I draw Explosives, I'm not unhappy. If I dredge, Dark Blast, or Dakmor Salvage, I'm happy, but that's not actually very many cards. I think I actually just draw here. Very lucky. Very, very lucky. Get back Bloodghast. And I could cast Light from Loam and get Stomping Ground, but I want to dredge Grave Troll. I don't want to dredge Light from Loam. So I could just hold off on this, but I should cast it because I want to be able to dredge Faithless Sitting and flash it back. I don't really care how many lands I'm getting back. A lot of decisions with this deck. I think I'm making them reasonably well for the most part, although I've certainly pointed out a number of mistakes. Alright, so now let's dredge Grave Troll. Hit a Narcomoeba. And I also hit a Bloodghast. No reason not to smash this guy in, actually. I'm going to play a land anyway. Definitely no reason to pay 2 life. And I can't think of a reason not to dredge. Dredging Loam versus dredging Stinkweed Imp is actually an interesting question. Stinkweed Imp is, makes it very difficult for my opponent to attack, and puts more cards in the graveyard, but Loam gets me to the point where I can start casting Grave Trolls. I lean toward going for Loam. That's what I'm going to do. Cast this on these 3 lands. And we'll attack with everything. Because playing a land gets a Bloodghast back if my opponent blocks the Bloodghast, and then that gets the Prized Amalgam back. And I don't think I'm afraid of my opponent's counterattack, but I should think through this a little bit more. Because this will be tapped. If my opponent plays a Reality Smasher, that's 12 damage. My opponent gets to block 2 things and take 4 and go to 6. There's an alternate strategy where I just don't attack at all and just try to block. Force my opponent to use Displacer if they want to get in, and then I just start casting these big Grave Trolls. How big are these Grave Trolls? Well, they'll be bigger, presumably. I'm going to dredge Stinkweed Imp and hope to have more than 1 creature. The Grave Trolls are deeply unknown size. And there's obviously no reason not to attack with the Bloodghast since they can't block. Thing is, if my opponent doesn't have exactly Reality Smasher, I don't know if they can afford to attack at all. So I think I attack with everything. Copperland Gorge in the name of preserving my life total. The other problem with the go slow and rely on Grave Troll plan is that Grave Troll is not good against Displacer. Alright, well there's Smasher. But what can I actually afford to attack here? I don't think it's everything, because then I can just crack back for lethal. I'm into nothing. Alright, that makes attacking great. We just want a big dredge here. Did not hit. Didn't even really hit creatures. That was just a horrible dredge. So let's see. The play at this point is to cast Stinkweed in. Well, I should figure out if I'm attacking first. I think I have to be attacking with Nargamoebas. As we've seen, there's a strong argument that the best defense is a good offense in this spot. Actually, I wonder if it's better to play a Grave Troll just because it has more power, which makes it a more threatening creature to counterattack. Oh! I should have attacked with the Bloodghast so that they would be dead, so that I could play Grave Troll and decline to bring them back and have a larger Grave Troll. That was the correct line. Or I could have, yeah, that's what I should have done. Because then I could just bring them back the next turn and they'd have haste, and so it doesn't matter that I didn't have them in play. And then I'd just have a 4/4, which would do everything I want it to do, basically. Oh well. Wow. Plays the bird there cost a Displacer activation for what it's worth. I like that my opponent's not attacking. Just have to keep dredging the biggest number possible. I think it's worth putting Narcomoeba into play. And now let's fix my mistake from the last turn. Is there any reason reason to play the land. I guess it lets me loam and grave troll if I have that many like lands left in my deck. It also protects from a top decked Grafdigger's Cage. I guess those things are sufficient. I guess it also gives me mana to regenerate Grave Troll technically. But it also means that a Grave Troll that gets blinked comes back smaller. Not that that really matters. This game's not really going that long. I think my opponent's just dead. The Grave Troll games are the sweetest Dredge games. Not the best ones, but they're always pretty fun. Just cool stuff happening. So I didn't see a Grafdigger's Cage, but I'm still inclined to exist, and even if they don't, Engineered Explosives can answer Rest in Peace if that exists instead. And my opponent didn't see one, which is a point for keeping it around. But it is also slower on the draw in a way that might matter. It's possible that I'd rather Thoughtseize, but Thoughtseize on the draw isn't good because I don't have time to Thoughtseize the stuff that actually matters, so I guess we just leave it. Alright, last game of the 5-0. This is one of those slow dredge spots. The Lightning Axe is very good. I'm on the draw. And I have enough mana that I can use cards that I draw, so I think I'm going to keep. The fact that I just have the lands to flashback a Faithless Living is really seals the deal here. That's also pretty good. No mana creature makes the Dark Blast a lot worse. Lightning Axe is unlikely to have a target. I think I just played this and expect it to become a tapped land. Maybe I should. It's close as to whether I should have played that or Dakmar Salvage. I don't think I'm gonna need 2 mana then 3 mana. It's a pretty unlikely sequence. So I think getting the optionality here is worth it, but maybe not, and it's very close. Is this Rest in Peace? Is that why we kept? Yes. Okay. So we're looking for explosives. I'm just going to play this, which will let me hardcast the Bloodghast next turn. Very exciting. Goodbye forever, Dark Blast. So now I can't win unless my opponent's draw is beyond awful or I find an explosives. But we are looking remarkably live for beyond awful draw. I'm not sure if playing that land was right, but I couldn't really think of a good reason not to. That's probably bad for me. Thought not seer. I'm gonna be really sad if I draw explosives off this Thought Not Seer. Goodbye, forever prized amalgam. My opponent has a lot more outs than I do. My opponent basically needs to draw any creature. I need to draw one of my 3 explosives. And even if I draw an explosives, it's not like I automatically win or anything. I have 2 Bloodghasts and 2 prized amalgams exiled already, and I don't really have like an engine of any sort. I think that I'm better off holding the looting so that I can do something if I find an explosives, rather than casting looting to dig for explosives and then not being able to do anything afterward. This would be an argument for not playing the last mountain that I played, for what it's worth. I was undecided on whether or not I should play it. I think it was likely wrong. I'm not under any pressure, so let's just wait and try to find something better to discard. It's not the right land to kill. Fire one of these off now. Okay. Don't need loam, have tons of lands. And don't need dark blast. opponent's hand isn't another rest in peace. Alright, now let's just see what we can do. I can cast Faithless Living or Stinkwood Imp. Probably better to just cast Faithless Living. Keep stomping around in case my opponent ghost quarters my Pipeline Gorge. I think I've become a pretty large favorite of this game. I don't want to kill myself. I'm going to Dredge Life from them because I want to be able to build a large hand for Conflagrate. I don't have any Bloodghast in the graveyard or anything. Let's just attack. And my opponent has no hand. And I have a big creature, 9/9. That's pretty big. I'll play this. That was a good draw. I think I don't dredge this turn. Let's get some lands. And let's go to combat. And now I could conflagrate the Displacer, but I think it might be better to just cast the Grave Troll. really sure how I lose either way. Okay, well, let's just do 3 there and 1 there. That feels fine. I guess this was probably wrong because it's bad against a top deck displacer. I don't think I want to give my opponent another draw at displacer. I think I just attack with these 2 and then play another Grave Troll. I only have 4 cards in my library, so I'm slowing down to be careful about attacking myself. Right, and now I just attack with everything and my opponent is dead. Block the 2 Grave Trolls, take lethal. Alright, well, that last game didn't really feel like a game I was supposed to win, but my opponent just drew almost all reactive cards, and I was able to draw out of it. So, glad I brought explosives in and didn't take them out, and that was a nice clean 5-0.